When Jay-Z, one of the most influential hip-hop artists of all time, was accused of allegedly raping a 13-year-old girl back in 2000.
Shawn Carter, the billionaire rap icon famously known as Jay-Z, is standing his ground in the recent lawsuit brought against him. It is evident that he is fully prepared to confront both his accuser and her legal representative head-on. Verified inconsistencies in the allegations have come to light, and Jay-Z just breaks silence and fires back regarding the inconsistencies in her story. What are his statements on the matter? How far is he prepared to take this fight? Will the plaintiff back down now? Join us in this video as we delve into all the details. Jay-Z's response to the supposed victim's inconsistent story. Jay-Z's attorney is working tirelessly to have the lawsuit accusing the rapper of mistreatment dismissed. A 38-year-old woman originally filed the lawsuit against Jay-Z and Sean Combs in October, but Jay-Z was not initially named as a defendant. However, this changed 8 days ago when the plaintiff's high-profile lawyer, Tony Busby, amended the lawsuit to include Jay-Z's legal name, Shawn Carter. Previously, the rapper had been referred to only as Celebrity A in the legal documents. The woman, identified as Jane Doe from Alabama, recently gave an interview to NBC News, which aired last Friday night. Following the broadcast, Jay-Z's attorney, Alex Spiro, acted swiftly, arguing for the lawsuit's dismissal, citing the severity of the case's alleged flaws. Tony Busby, the woman's attorney, had previously sent a demand letter to Jay-Z's legal team at the time of the initial filing requesting mediation. During her interview with NBC News, which was also published on their website, the woman admitted, "I have made some mistakes," in recounting the events of that night. Despite these discrepancies, she stated that she stands by her allegations overall. She further argued that inconsistencies in her account of the incident, alleged to have occurred 24 years ago, do not necessarily invalidate her claims. Jay-Z's lawyer, Alex Spiro, sent a letter to the judge overseeing the case on Friday evening, emphasizing that the issue is of critical significance and announcing his intention to submit a motion to dismiss the lawsuit. In his letter, Spiro highlighted fundamental inaccuracies in her account, including errors in the who, what, when, and where details. The contradictory allegations, coupled with her inability to substantiate the claims, ultimately compelled her to acknowledge that she had made errors in identification. When questioned, the plaintiff conceded that she had been speculating about crucial details, including the time it took to reach the venue. She also acknowledged that, over the past 24 years, she has not been able to produce a single corroborating witness. Meanwhile, Alex Spiro criticized attorney Tony Busby, accusing him of failing to properly investigate either the plaintiff or the lawsuit before taking it on. Spiro wrote that it is astonishing for a lawyer to file such a serious complaint without conducting adequate due diligence, and added that Busby had exacerbated the situation by promoting the false narrative in the media. Spiro urged the court to dismiss the baseless case immediately, and indicated that further disciplinary actions would be pursued against Busby and any attorneys involved in filing the complaints. In response, Busby stated in a statement to NBC News that the law firm that referred the case to him had vetted both the claims and the plaintiff. According to Busby, Jane Doe's case was referred to our firm by another that vetted it before sending it to us. Our client remains steadfast in her belief that her account is accurate to the best of her recollection. We are continuing to investigate her claims and gather supporting evidence where available. She's been thoroughly questioned by us and has even offered to undergo a polygraph test, a suggestion I've never had a client make before. Jay-Z released a statement on X declaring, "Today's investigative report confirms that attorney Busby filed a fabricated complaint against me in a quest for money and fame. This incident never occurred, yet he brought it to court and amplified it in the media. True justice is on the way. We fight from victory, not for victory. This was settled before it even began. This 1-800 lawyer doesn't realize it yet, but he will soon." Meanwhile, Sean Combs' legal team addressed Jane Doe's inconsistencies, commenting last week that an attorney acknowledged over 50 individuals have falsely claimed to be victims. Referring to the case, they stated, "Last Friday, for the second time in 1 week, a plaintiff represented by Busby has been discredited. This marks the beginning of the end for this disgraceful attempt at extortion. The alleged victim's inconsistent accounts may actually undermine her claims rather than strengthening them. But what specific inconsistencies are making her story questionable? Is it acceptable to have conflicting accounts during a lawsuit? Let's explore further the unverifiable stories and account of Jay-Z's Accuser. A woman from Alabama who claimed Jay-Z and Diddy mistreated her when she was 13 spoke with NBC News to describe what she referred to as a catastrophic event. She detailed a limousine ride to a White House, consuming a drink that left her feeling disoriented, and an act of mistreatment by the rap icons that she believes destroyed her life. NBC News traveled to Houston earlier this week to interview the woman who chose to remain anonymous at her attorney's office. However, the woman and her attorneys conceded that there were certain contradictions in her story when responding to questions from NBC News. Among the discrepancies, the woman, who is now 38 years old, shared with NBC News that she was living in Rochester, New York in 2000 and had long dreamed of attending the VMAs. "It was on my bucket list at 13, she recalled. It was like, oh my gosh, one of those things I've got to do. To make it happen, she said she snuck out of her house through a window to avoid her parents seeing her. On the night of the alleged incident, a friend drove her to Radio City Music Hall in New York City, according to her lawsuit. The venue was alive with excitement, surrounded by crowds gathering in viewing areas outside as it was decorated for the awards. She described how the crowd erupted in cheers when Jennifer Lopez arrived and how Eminem performed on the street. Without a ticket, she said in the lawsuit, she watched portions of the event on a jumbotron set up outside the venue. After the alleged mistreatment, she said in her lawsuit, she managed to escape the house and ran to a gas station. I was visibly upset, and the attendant at the gas station could tell something was wrong. She let me use the phone, she told NBC News. I called my dad because he was the only person I trusted at that time. I told him I had messed up and needed a ride home. We drove home in silence. He didn't ask me what had happened, what I did, or where I had been. The woman's father told NBC News he does not recall picking her up after the alleged attack, raising questions about a crucial detail in her lawsuit. Based on their address at the time, he would have had to drive over 5 hours from their home to retrieve her. I feel like I would remember that, and I don't, he said during an interview on Thursday. I've got a lot going on, but something like that would definitely stand out in my memory. He also shared that he only learned of the alleged mistreatment this week. While he acknowledged that he did once pick her up in the middle of the night, he clarified that it was a local drive. When asked about her father's account in a follow-up interview on Friday, the woman maintained that he had indeed picked her up after the alleged incident, suggesting that he may have misremembered. There are a lot of things, and this is something we argue about constantly, things he said or did back in New York around that time that he just doesn't recall, she explained. It actually causes a lot of fights in the household sometimes. Addressing her father's recollection, attorney Tony Busby told NBC News, "We acknowledge that he says he doesn't remember. His daughter has explained that he was not in a state to recall events during that period due to personal issues he was dealing with at the time. Keep in mind, we are talking about events from over 20 years ago." The woman told NBC News that she had spoken with musician Benji Madden at the after party. "Honestly, what's clearest to me is what happened and the route I took to get there," the woman said in the follow-up interview on Friday. "Not all of the faces I saw that night are as clear. So I've made some mistakes. I may have been wrong in identifying someone." Additionally, the woman was unable to provide further details about the after party she said she attended. Professional photographs reviewed by NBC News confirm that Sean Diddy Combs and Jay-Z, Shawn Carter, attended a VMAs after party at the Lotus nightclub in New York City. However, it remains unclear when those photos were taken or whether Combs and Carter attended any additional after parties that night. Notably, the building that formerly housed Lotus, which is now closed, does not match the description of the house the woman provided in her lawsuit and interview. When asked on Tuesday about the location she believed she was taken to that night, the woman said, I didn't know exactly where we were going or even how long it took. She acknowledged that the estimated travel time included in her lawsuit was a guess. Attorney Tony Busby clarified, "We have made efforts to verify the correct location. We have never claimed that the venue was the Lotus Club. Our client has been precise and detailed in her description of the location she alleges she was taken to, and she has never suggested it was the Lotus Club." He further stated, "We won't speculate on whether there was an after party as she herself doesn't know that." Attorney Tony Busby also stated that he is continuing to investigate her claims. "In any event," he said, "we always do our best to thoroughly vet each claim, just as we did in this case. This has been incredibly distressing for her to the point where she has suffered seizures and required medical attention due to the stress." The allegations against Carter suggest a potentially seismic development, possibly connecting the rap icon to the accusations outlined in civil and criminal cases against Combs, who is currently in a Brooklyn jail awaiting trial on federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges. Explaining her decision to speak out, she said, "You should always fight for what happened to you. You should always advocate for yourself and be your own voice. Never let what someone else did destroy or dictate your life. I just hope to inspire others to come forward as I have done." She told NBC News that she never spoke to anyone about the alleged mistreatment or documented it in a diary. "Even if someone found out, who would believe me? It was the words of two celebrities against mine," she said. The following years were difficult for her. "I became severely depressed. I completely withdrew. My grades started to fall, and I eventually dropped out of school," she explained. She also experienced homelessness and suffered a head injury at one point. Both she and her father confirmed that she was mistreated again later in life. Now a mother to two children, a son and a daughter, she shared her journey toward recovery. She served in the Army National Guard for less than a year, leaving with the rank of private. She later earned her high school diploma and pursued a Christian counseling certification. "I wanted to help others who have endured what I've gone through," she said. Another aspect of the woman's allegations that could not be verified is how she traveled to New York City that night. One of her attorneys shared with NBC News the name and birth date of the friend she claimed drove her, who would have been 20 at the time. However, it appears that this individual has since passed away, and NBC News was unable to contact the person's relatives. Indeed, the story may have its inconsistencies, but it will ultimately be up to the law to determine the truth. While opinions abound, one pressing question remains: who is responsible for these discrepancies, the plaintiff or her attorney? Stay tuned as the story unfolds and more details emerge. Who deserves to be blamed for the inconsistent claims of the victim? Each survivor's journey toward justice following allegations of mistreatment is unique. Some may choose to file complaints with institutions, seek civil lawsuits for monetary compensation, pursue criminal charges, or request protective orders. Others might opt not to take formal action, focusing instead on mental health and the arduous process of healing from trauma. These choices underscore the complexities surrounding such cases and the crucial role attorneys play in balancing their clients' emotional recovery with legal strategy. In the ongoing case against Jay-Z, where Jane Doe accuses the rapper of sexual mistreatment, her attorney Tony Busby has been vocal about the credibility of her claims despite noted inconsistencies in her account. Busby attributes these discrepancies to the passage of time since the alleged incident, arguing that memories can fade and trauma can complicate recollection. However, Jay-Z and his attorney Alex Spiro maintain that the allegations are baseless and financially motivated, pointing to inconsistencies as evidence undermining Jane Doe's claims. Such cases highlight a broader issue within legal proceedings: how to address and interpret inconsistencies in a victim's account. It is not uncommon for survivors to omit or misstate information, sometimes unintentionally out of fear that certain details might weaken their case. This places a heightened responsibility on attorneys to thoroughly investigate their clients' narratives before proceeding. A detailed inquiry not only helps uncover potential conflicts of interest, but also ensures the attorney is well prepared to navigate any challenges that may arise. Given her contradictory accounts, the plaintiff may be experiencing dissociative amnesia, a condition where individuals are unable to recall significant personal information about themselves. This typically involves memories of distressing or traumatic events. It is often associated with severe or prolonged trauma, such as abuse, just like the mistreatment she claims to have experienced, neglect, or violence. At the moment, it is challenging to determine whether she is truly a victim or not. High-profile cases like this often involve public scrutiny and raise questions about credibility, fairness, and the pursuit of truth. For example, the allegations against Brett Kavanaugh during his Supreme Court confirmation hearings also featured discussions of memory gaps and inconsistencies. Similarly, Johnny Depp's defamation trial against Amber Heard illustrated how contested narratives and contradictory evidence can dominate proceedings. These cases reveal the importance of thorough fact-checking and preparation in protecting a client's interests while preserving the integrity of the justice system. In Jane Doe's case, her lawyer's approach underscores the significance of transparency and proactive legal practice. By conducting independent investigations, attorneys can identify and address potential weaknesses early on, ensuring they advocate effectively for their clients. This not only bolsters their legal strategy, but also fosters trust, helping survivors feel supported as they seek justice. For Jay-Z, who firmly denies the allegations and views the lawsuit as a financial ploy, the inconsistencies in Jane Doe's claims bolster his defense. Whether these inconsistencies stem from trauma, miscommunication, or ulterior motives remains a matter for the courts to decide. However, the case serves as a reminder of the delicate balance attorneys must strike in navigating the intricacies of their clients' stories, particularly when public opinion plays a significant role in shaping perceptions. Could all of this just be an attack on Jay-Z's image and reputation, or could there be more to it? Well, in the light of events, all eyes have also turned to Beyonce to know her response to the allegations her husband faces. What does she say? Let's find out. Beyonce's unwavering support and resolve. Despite the allegations, globally celebrated musician Beyonce continues to stand firmly by her husband Jay-Z amidst ongoing sexual allegations. Reports indicate that Beyonce persuaded the rapper to walk the red carpet, reflecting her determination to face the controversy head-on. The couple also garnered attention recently for their high-profile appearance at the premiere of their daughter's movie, Mufasa. A source told the Daily Mail that 43-year-old singer and her husband are actively working with a crisis management professional to navigate the challenges. The insider shared, Beyonce insisted Jay-Z attend the premiere last night and is seeking expert advice to handle the situation. She believes addressing the matter openly is the most effective approach. Blue Ivy, despite being young, is aware of the situation and remains committed to supporting her parents. According to the source, she stood by her parents in a strong show of solidarity. Beyonce is deeply focused on safeguarding her family and ensuring they remain united, yet she harbors concerns about the possibility of other women coming forward with false claims. Undeterred by the ongoing lawsuit, Beyonce continues to exemplify her generosity and compassion. Recently, she made a remarkable donation of $100,000 to the Houston Law Center, a university in her hometown, leaving many inspired. This act of kindness, revealed during her husband's legal turmoil, has sparked significant discussion. The university confirmed that the donation will fund a full-time faculty director and ensure the center operates smoothly. As Jay-Z faces mounting legal issues, this case raises concerns about the potential for baseless allegations. Beyonce's strength and dedication to both her family and community continue to leave a lasting impact. So, what do you think of Jay-Z's stand amidst it all? Do you think it shows his innocence? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you found it interesting. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the next video shown on your screen to catch up on your favorite celebrity stories. See you there.